social media, it's covered up with, there are different apps coming in like Gronda and many other things. What they're trying to do is to get the number of likes and, being famous. They're trying to recreate the same dishes by adding some salts, chemicals to it, and changing the texture, shape, consistency, uh, its acceptability, in a different manner, like a mango leather. So why do they say it as a leather? Because of the pectin and the sugar. You dehydrate it, and then that becomes more of, more pliable, more flexible. But at the end, what we are looking for is to give that unique experience. Like, और यही चीज़ अगर हम देखें तो आम पापड़ है और हम कब से खाते आ रहे हैं. So there are different, takes on it. How you would, it's all showbiz. It's all showbiz. Anyways, so I got really passionate, after meeting Professor a few months back, and I kept on thinking that, as a youngster, what can we do? How can we bring change in everyone's life today? And I would like everyone here, someone who's seated at the end, and to this corner, to participate with me, right? So I think all of us are engineers here today, like those who are, getting some education here. Uh, and we are definitely future leaders. We'll grow ahead in our life and be successful, that's for sure. Uh, this success is, there is some struggle behind it. There's so many things that we are missing today. If I look at my mom, dad, they used to work in bank. They would leave home at 9:30, reporting time at 10 o'clock, come back home at 5 o'clock. जो होगा कल सुबह 9 बजे देखा जाएगा, है ना? After 5:30, they'll have their nice cup of tea, relax, spend time with kids, and mom will cook the food. No stress, nothing much. And if I look at us today, we are still replying to emails at 10:30. और रात में अगर 2 बजे स्ट्रेस की वजह से नींद खुल भी गई तो भी हम ईमेल जाके इनबॉक्स चेक कर रहे हैं कि भाई क्या हुआ. Anyone who's into stock market, he is okay behind कल क्या होगा. So there's so much stress. There's so much of capitalism behind our approach. Money has taken, that level in our life that everything is, behind it. Money है, ठीक है, पैसा चाहिए, बहुत ज़रूरी है. We need to be successful, but it is impacting us. Breads, another example. I'll roll on to my slides later. I like to talk a lot. Britannia, perfect. Many companies are there who, who are sitting into our, daily pantry. Why? Because of convenience. Chapatis have, we have lost them, and we are back to bread. A busy mom, she starts day at 5 o'clock because she has to travel to Gurgaon. She needs 1 hour to be ready, and then 6 o'clock the cab comes. Reporting time in an MNC, morning shift 7:30. So where will you go? Do you have time to make chapatis in the morning? No, not at all. What are you going towards? Is convenience. That convenience is coming from by the use of bread. Just as a example. Now, over the years, you keep on consuming this, and then after some time, you go to a dietitian and say, I'm struggling with, overweight. I am also diabetic, as she have mentioned. India is we know that, India is a diabetic capital. So it is our, options that we chose. And looking at this, that now the consumer is on high alert about what we are consuming. Now the companies, they bring in, try the ragi bread today. We launched a ragi bread today. We please eat a brown bread today. It's all color, nothing much. Unless there's an artisanal bakery who actually does that and there's value in the product. Why I'm discussing this is because the crucial part here is nutrient deficiency. It's all about nutrient deficiency. Restaurants, fresh food, we are all trying to bring that. But unfortunately, capitalism in the approach, in the business cycle, has destroyed the nutrition. The dal makhni has to be made tasty. We'll do whatsoever so that you have more and more orders coming in from the people. We won't care what is being added, right? There are certain people who are working on this approach. I won't name, there are multiple. There are multiple. And that is why the municipal corporations of different uh, cities, they're behind the street vendors, because there's no quality check, there's no quality control. And I'm sure all of us go and enjoy the street food. All of us go and enjoy the street food. I'm not saying it's bad. Yes? Do we all enjoy the street food? Yep. But if I tell you that you are only consuming calories, and because that taste bud is just hit, that you get that tanginess, that sweetness, गोलगप्पे का भैया mix करके पानी देना जरा, है ना, खट्टा ज़्यादा हो गया, फिर मीठा ज़्यादा हो गया. What are you doing? It's only satisfying your sensory buds. But who is behind nutrition today? No one. It is because of our lifestyle changes or lifestyle practices, daily practices, that we are forced to go to a doctor and ask for protein supplements. My study is on microalgae. Okay, here is where I'll introduce my product. My study, it's not a product. As a chef, what I'm trying to do is trying to inculcate microalgae into daily life. Okay. Now, I'll show you a graph and talk about it. Because of so much of refined consumption of refined products, we are losing the dietary fiber. I won't ask you to do a Google Scholar or go to any research website. Just quickly Google uh, recent data on protein deficiency in India. It'll give you a certain percentage. Any one of you can just Google that. Today is India sitting at what percentage of protein deficiency? 70, 73 to 80%. It's a huge, huge, huge amount. It's a huge amount. And what I'm trying to tell you here is that if you inculcate this product in your daily life, you can still enjoy those tangy flavors from the golgappa or any kind of street food that you like, or comfort food, your food, to go to food, but add some microalgae to it. Why? I'll tell you the key features behind it. Now, in my PhD study, I was able to explore that by 2050, the the way human beings are, evolving, we are growing. Uh, we definitely need land to cultivate that amount of crop to provide us the nutrition. Also, people who are completely dependent on animal products, from dairy to their meat, that will also fall short. Okay, what will we do? When I was a kid, we were shown a picture of a small kid from African nations with a marasmus or a big tummy or goiter. I don't know if you can recall that image in your head. I am seeing that we are going there. India as a nation is also going there. But if we youngsters can control it right now, and parents, we get alert. Sure, capitalism is there, but if we get alert about the whole process of how we can increase nutrition. I'm not asking you to read books, and here where the AI comes in. Everyone is tech savvy. I'm just asking you to uh, use platforms like Ratatouille to look at your pantry and ask for healthy options. That, okay, in my pantry I have left over this much of X ingredient, Y ingredient, what can I do? And see what comes out. Yep. Uh, so, as I mentioned, in 2050, this is the study that I'm doing. The world population versus the amount of agriculture that we or the breeding of animals that we are doing will definitely fall short. So here comes the solution, and something that will save us is investing into microalgae. What does it take? A small pond. That's it. No fresh water resource, one only thing that you need is something that you have seen in an aquarium, is that pump that supplies, fresh air to it. You can see the bubbles there. Why? Because that keeps the water fresher and will allow the algae to develop. Now, here comes the big constraint about consumption. I'll quickly move to the slides. I have to move for sure. uh, yeah. So, point three here, adoption barriers. I was just speaking to someone in the morning. So, we did a tasting session at the time of restorations. I don't know if you guys were able to do it or no. It was about vol au. So we fortified this. So fortification is when we add something, more nutritious, adding more value, giving more value to a product. So like fortified rice. So we did mushroom pate, or a simple mixture of mushrooms, cooked the way it has to be in a normal restaurant, and fill that into a pastry shell, which is called as the vol au. But we fortified this. Now, if I do not add spirulina to it, what will happen is when you eat this kind of product, you are only eating puff pastry, say, like it's made with maida, so starch. Cream in the mushroom mix is fat. Plus puff pastry may be bahut sara butter is the fat. What you're eating is only fat and carbs. On digestion, it will go into your adipose tissue. It, right? Technically, like scientifically speaking, it will go into your adipose tissue. Adding spirulina, I'll show you a packet, but the study says per 100 grams, it has 62% more protein as compared to a beef steak or a chicken or a lamb. 62%. That's it. 62%. It's there all together, beating everyone. So I'm just asking you to step away from this adoption barrier. Now, what is adoption barrier here is, first of all, is psychology. I'm sure as a, if there's a young one and if you see some algae growing in a pond, what will be your opinion to a small kid? Anyone? Don't touch. Chi. It's slimy. It's don't touch. But that something which is, thankfully humans are not able to touch it, then otherwise वो भी destroy हो जाता. But that algae is super duper rich in protein, antioxidants, iron, and something which is, that we have always stepped away from will rule the world for, nutrition as a nutrient supplement. Well, pharmaceutical companies are still doing it, right? And we only get to know when we go to a doctor and say, hey, doctor, I'm suffering from this kind of deficiency. What should I do? And then you get to know, oh, Amazon also has this. I can buy a supplement, I can buy a tablet of a spirulina powder and then consume that every day. Well, the beauty of this, as a chef, we have been able to apply this to multiple platforms, from shakes to smoothies to pasta. I'll show you a quick picture here. So that's my activity one, where, a spaghetti with basil, simple, aglio olio style. Every restaurant does it. Pasta aglio olio, which is like without any sauce, it's only vegetables, garlic, whatever you prefer, right? So there's no particular sauce. In weddings, generally because of the umami flavor, people definitely order pesto. And over pizza, we enjoy pesto. And kids are fond of it, aren't we? Like, और उनको पालक की कोई ग्रेवी बना के देखो, they'll be like throwing it down or trying to run away. Why? Because it's all green color. But as soon as that green color comes to a pasta dish, they're like, oh my god, mom, wow, and cover it with some cheese. Do that. I'm just asking to add spirulina. So what we did is we created a basil pesto with spirulina. The beauty of it is that you don't have to cook it. So there is no chance of destroying the nutrient. There is no chance of deteriorating it because of high heat temperatures, right? And that is something that can be added towards the end in your dish. So you take basil, you take Parmesan cheese, you take pine nuts, you take olive oil, you take garlic, blend this, and to this 100 grams, you add 2 scoops of spirulina. Now, the only challenge here is you can't go overboard. Why? Because it's a little bitter. And that's one of the adoption barriers too. That's a little bitter. but you can definitely trim down and gradually increase as per your as and when your palate develops towards spirulina. But people loved it. They did not get to know that there is, algae in it. Why? Because thankfully, basil green color, we got, saved, and psychological, that barrier did not kick in. But as soon as people got to know, I just, met one person. When I told that person the volume that you're eating has spirulina, which is an algae, halfway he stopped. You see the psychological impact. They won't, people won't take in the nutrient rich product. It's always, oh, algae, oh my god, well, ye kya kiya maine? What I've done. So here is, another adoption barrier that we are trying to overcome with. uh, Another one that we always do, girlfriends to boyfriends, boyfriends to girlfriends, the gifting purpose, festivities, chocolates are everywhere. Chocolates from small kid to a, full grown person, like loves chocolate. So bonbons, we'll find them made by Cadbury, many other companies, uh, and there are artisanal, chefs also who are making this. So what we did a mixture. You can see the green color spirulina powder there. So we made ganache, added some, spirulina to it, and at the end you can see bonbons there. Now kids, they'll not let go. They will never ever spit chocolate out of their mouth whatsoever. So we just added nutrition to it. When I traveled abroad, I looked at marbles. I don't know, like M&Ms, these kind of candies there. I just happened to look at the ingredients at the back. I was mind blown that there is spirulina in a candy like gems. Spirulina in gems. It's just sugar coated. Kids will never ever realize. But as a mother, as a parent, you will be so happy that sure, he can satisfy himself by eating gems. I'm more satisfied there's some nutrition going along. So you see that comes as a savior. And how can uh, AI help us? Is to modify our approach. How we can look at what we have presently in our pantry, or what do I need to buy, and then accordingly we can add to our food. Okay, which is into your dairy products, your shakes, smoothies. You can definitely replace meat with it because a microalgae does not need cooking, right? But my last point here, I just moved ahead, is the industry right now. These are the four key pillars who are using microalgae. Cosmetics, they're doing in animal feed. There are supplements, as I mentioned. It's available on Amazon and food processing industry. Who is not applying it right now are the chefs who are cooking live, a la carte orders, right? You go to a restaurant, hey, can I have a pasta olio olio, or can I have a pizza, can I have a paneer, palak paneer? That is where the chefs need to use AI, and AI also has to develop to understand what protein sources are there other than the tempeh, tofu, leaves like sag and spinach and other greens, because they're all releasing methane, right? So that's impacting environment. The best part here, again, I'll reiterate, is there is very low cost when it comes to the growth of microalgae. It's just a pond. We just need to keep the water a little fresh by using those kind of pumps, and it'll cultivate. You will take it out, dehydrate, convert that into a powder. Sun drying, we have been doing it from years, from decades, and just blend it, and then we can use it. Although, if you're still confused, there are people who are refining it, taking out any kind of other algae impurities. You can buy these kind of products. At present, we just happened to check the cost in the morning. So it was 500 rupees per 100 gram. It is a little expensive though, but hey, invest in yourself. That is what we need to do. So my idea is, my pitch here to conclude is to add microalgae and AI into your daily life. Thank you.
I have a question, only one question, that just for everybody's challenge. If I was to grow microalgae, I'm not an expert in growing that. So just a word of caution. It's better to buy perhaps, which is dehydrated, because I will not know in that water if there is other contaminant there, and there's no way for me to cross-check it. There are fair labs and there are multiple labs who do that, but that's very expensive. So just from safety point of view, that's what I'm adding. But great session, great understanding.
Thank you. I really appreciate Chef, and I agree because as a layman we may not, even as chefs we will not be able to understand what's growing, but here comes the food industry, processing industry, who can actually help us to segregate the good ones and discard them. Plus my last point, I'm sorry, I just brought this up. Even biofuel, the future fuels, they are being extracted from kelp and microalgae. So there is some future there. Just do some research, invest into this kind of venture, uh, either entrepreneurship or towards your health. It's up to you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Chef Mike. Appreciate that. Let's have a memento given. Yeah.
I'll just open the. Oh, awesome, lovely.
Yeah. I just want to ask. Sure. Please, please.
No, we can't grow it.
No, you can grow it. So it's just that. Sorry, thank you. So, sir is asking if we can grow in a fish tank at our home. Uh, well, I've tried this at my place, like at my workplace. We did struggle. Why? Because we were not able to give it the sunlight. The algae needs photosynthesis to get processed. So, as ma'am mentioned, it can be given to a third party and let them. Yeah, but it means you can give it to a farmer. So I used to travel from Faridabad to Sona. On the way, I have to pass through villages. There are people doing, this kind of farming. Yes, their Instagram is full of these kind of, videos. And the good part is that the farmers are given the opportunity. We are not aware of kind of business or capitalism again here. It has the value it has, but farmers are given the opportunity and they understand it better. They understand it better somehow. They do.
So there are certain anti-nutrition factors also in that. Anti-nutrition factors.
Definitely, ma'am. So
We need a processing part for it.
100%, you need to refine it. I'm not asking that you take out the algae and put that into your smoothie. You need to refine a little bit so that we can have a better product with us. Great. Thank you. Any other questions? Anyone? Ma'am, please.
It's not really a question, it's just a point that I wanted to add. When Shivanshu Shukla went on the ISS, one of the experiments he was conducting for one of the institutes was on growing microalgae as a future, food, protein supplement for, ready-made growing supplement for astronauts in long, long voyages. And also because it sequesters carbon dioxide, so it was a two-way thing. I just thought I'd add to it.
I'm glad, ma'am. Thank you for mentioning this.
Thank you.
Thanks.